Donald Trump today has signed a trio of executive orders, one of which directly targets ideological bias in government's use of AI. So according to White House staff, one of the measures will prohibit federal agencies from purchasing or promoting AI systems that embrace wokeism. Trump says the American people do not want woke Marxist lunacy in the AI models. And he's absolutely right about that, Alex.
Well, he is right, but if you saw Grok recently, obviously on X, went viral because it started to, say some anti-Semitic stuff. So now that they've kind of had to, reel in Grok a little bit. So listen, I agree. I don't want any woke nonsense with this AI, but I think that this AI can, spiral out of control very quickly. And I don't know how much the government can really control it. I mean, they're obviously going to put in guardrails, but at the end of the day, it's like, is AI a threat to you and me? I hope not. I do think it's a possibility that a lot of people are going to lose their jobs and people are going to be dumber because they're going to rely on AI instead of actually doing the work. They even,
Probably
that's
true.
true though. They've done studies. They say the more you rely on AI, the less it works your amygdala, the part of the brain that you need for memory, and that the more likely you're going to forget stuff and have dementia in older age. And I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, once we rely on this so much, there's Uber drivers, and they've actually done a study on this. There's Uber drivers that have driven for over 10 years in the same city, but because they've relied on their GPS so much, they can't even
They
tell you
can't.
what street is which.
Yeah.
So that's an example
I'm
of
guilty of
relying on
that. I'm
something.
not an Uber driver, but I'm
Exactly.
guilty of driving around areas which I should know by now, but I'm so reliant on my GPS.
Exactly right. And that's the same for every other application when it comes to using AI.
Okay, let's talk about the Epstein files. Look, we've previously discussed how Pam Bondi just absolutely botched the handling of it. Now there's been a few developments. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says that he intends to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell in the coming days. He released a statement and part of it says, this Department of Justice does not shy away from uncomfortable truths nor from the responsibility to pursue justice wherever the facts may lead. If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say. Until now, no administration on behalf of the department had inquired about her willingness to meet with the government. That changes now. And today, House Republicans subpoenaed Maxwell for a deposition to address Congress next month. Alex, are you feeling more confident that we are going to learn more, potentially see more evidence? What are your thoughts?
I must say my confidence level is very low. They didn't even get to vote on this before they went on a 5-week vacation, through the month of August. And hey, listen, it's the summer. I'm not going to fault them for wanting to take a vacation, but they could have voted on this. We could have, this is something that is a priority. It's all anything is ever talked about in the media or in everybody's personal lives, basically for the past 2 weeks, whether you like politics or not. So this Jeffrey Epstein information for me, what I truly think and why my confidence is so low is that I believe that he was connected to people within the CIA and probably intelligence agencies for other countries, and that if we actually know the truth, that it will just unravel the fabric of society, and it'll just, everybody will lose faith in our government and multi other governments. Not just our government will be affected, and these are people that are high, powerful people that we don't even know about. People that are in the banking industry, people that are in all sorts of industries that we don't even understand. The military industry, we do not know how deep the rabbit hole goes. And that is why I don't believe that they're ever going to give us actual transparency. They're just going to blame it on Jeffrey Epstein and not, the other people that probably should get some sort of scrutiny for actually being associated with them. But at the same time, I do not believe that it's Donald Trump stopping it because he's on that list. That's a narrative that a lot of people have been saying. And maybe he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He took pictures with Jeffrey Epstein, but at the same time, he did kick him out of Mar-a-Lago. So what it all boils down to is, are we allowed to see it? There's levels of classified information that you and I will never be privy to. And at the end of the day, if they can have federal judges like the one Judge Rosenberg that just denied it, they're going to continue to do whatever they can to stop the American people and the world from seeing the truth.
Alex, just finally, before I let you go, we know that Donald Trump vowed to make sports safe for women again, and now the US Olympic and Paralympic Committee has updated its policies to suggest that it will comply with Donald Trump's Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports executive order. I mean, this is obviously such good news for girls, for women at the highest levels. What's the reaction to this been over in the US?
Well, a lot of people are happy, but I am not happy because this is why I'm frustrated. I actually like transgender athletes in women's sports because I'm a gambler and I like to gamble on them because they have an advantage. So I won a bunch of money on Main Khalif, the gender neutral boxer. So personally, I like the transgenders in women's sports because it gives me a gambling edge. But everybody else and all the women that are affected by this, I'm sure they're all happy. But sadly, it doesn't look like I'll be going to Las Vegas much in 2025 and 2026.
Alex Stein, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour. Great to talk to you.
Thank you. Talk to you again soon.